wrestling buddies want to be your buddy.
What's going on?
Hey, buddy. Buddy!
You got me mad now.
You want to talk about a jam-packed week? We got one for you right here. So much to talk about on episode 125 of the Wrestling Compadres Slamcast. There is a huge event in NXT, which means we are taking over your eardrums right now, so gather around.
If you get there too fast, I'll know you ran.
Okay, don't run. Just walk briskly. Walk briskly to wherever you're listening. Welcome to the show, everyone. I'll tell you what, this show does a lot of things for you.
Makes you more aero-gigantic.
It definitely makes you more aero-gigantic. Let's get right into it. We are at Wrestling Buds on Twitter. We are Facebook.com/WrestlingBuds. We have a massive show. We're going to talk about TakeOver. We got Slammiversary coming up. We got Money in the Bank coming up. And our special guest, Scotty Hotty, first time on the show. Such an incredible dude. Cannot wait to get him on the line. Let's see. What else do we have? A lot of stuff going on. Go to our iTunes page. Make sure you rate us 5 stars. Write us a review. We're trying to build up as many reviews and as many 5-star ratings as we can before the move to Fox Sports. So with that said, let's introduce everyone. Dale Rutledge is in Europe, gallivanted around. He's still somewhere, I think, in Paris. I think. I don't know. I've been WhatsApping him. I don't know where he is.
WhatsApping him?
Yeah, WhatsApp. What the hell was that? I don't even know.
That was the WhatsApp.
That was the WhatsApp.
That was the WhatsApp.
Through.
That was the noise it makes.
Yeah, if you say it too many times, it just activates.
Exactly.
It's like Candyman.
So Dale Rutledge, follow him at The Walking Dale. I don't think we're going to get him on the show today just because of, technology and him being all the way on the other side of the world, but he's Dale Rutledge.
I got a puppy. I got a puppy? Bad news.
And, of course, Carlin Baith. Follow her at Carlin Baith. She is busy working for Fox. She just worked games 3 and 4 of the NHL Stanley Cup. And you're pumped, I know. Actually, we'll talk when I intro you.
Okay.
Yeah, shut your mouth right now.
Sorry.
Shut your mouth.
I'm sorry.
All right? So yeah, follow her as well. Of course, in studio with us, wearing a sweet Donkey Kong t-shirt, he is the host of Curtain Jerks, and also you can see him on the On Your Mark show, or maybe see a guy that kind of resembles him.
Me? I wish I was that ripped.
I wish you, yeah, that's true. I also wish you were that ripped. I'm on Twitter at Curtain Jerks. He's Scott Narver.
Scott Narver, he's Scott Narver. Curtain Jerk Compadre, he's always there to save the day. Scott Narver, he's Scott Narver.
I just want to thank JYD.
Why?
Because, you grab them cakes and then sometimes
I'm always grabbing those cakes.
Yeah, and then, he writes a great song like that intro song for me. So, thanks, Junkyard Dog.
Wait, you're telling me that's the legendary Junkyard Dog wrote that song?
Dog?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, he writes and sings his own songs, so
You sure?
that was clearly Junkyard Dog.
You sure?
Very.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Gosh, such a
Multi-talented
guy.
man.
Multi-talented.
Speaking of multi-talented, we have a guy sitting next to Scott Narver. It's his first time on the show. He is a fellow Pennsylvanian, so I'm happy to have him on. He's a Pittsburgh native, so he's pretty excited that those damn Penguins are up 3-1 in the Stanley Cup Finals. He's also the host of the Schnoz Fest podcast, which you could find at
Schmozfest on Twitter and Facebook, and look us up on iTunes as well.
At Schmozfest. You can find him on Twitter at Chris Lev.
Yeah.
That's because he's Chris Lev.
Hey everyone, thank
What's
you.
up, buddy? Give a round of applause.
Oh, thank you, all the thank you so much, everyone. People out there, calm down.
I've been on your show. I got kicked out by Honest Jimmy Jansen.
Yeah, he came through, and he. Listen, he has a lot of concussion issues.
A lot of concussion issues, yeah.
And, unfortunately, he's stuck in 1981.
And Scott, Honest Jimmy Jansen. He's the most famous Southern wrestling announcer from the early 80s.
Yeah, we don't get along.
No.
Really?
He ran into Curtain Jerks once as well.
Because I was born in 80.
So you never really...
Yeah, he thinks that 81's better, and just like I don't know, it's troublesome, that guy. He's very ornery.
Yeah,
he's like a Jim
ornery.
Cornette.
Wow.
A lot like a Jim Cornette, and very focused on chicken and gravy.
Well, who wouldn't be?
I would hate to see his cholesterol levels.
Yeah, that's his catchphrase.
Yeah, it is.
Chicken and gravy.
It's a great catchphrase.
Very much so. So with that said, guys, we're going to do things a little bit different this week. We're going to get into the news, but at this point, I think it's time for a special guest. But with that said, what other stuff is going on right now? We have the move to Fox June 29th.
Sure.
Do we have any other big announcements?
Well, we need friends to help us move. Like, we got
Right.
If somebody's got a truck,
Yep.
we need that, and then some real bodies. Because let's face it, I don't do a whole lot in a move. Like, I'm terrible with angles of a couch. Like
Yeah,
when
I know.
you're trying to twist the couch and go through the door.
Definitely.
And also, I do thank you guys for all the listeners and viewers who have been so active on social media this week, supporting the move to Fox. Keep doing that. Keep tagging Fox Sports. Keep tagging them. Keep tagging us. Just let them know how excited you are about the move, because it really is a big deal for us. And it's a big deal for Fox, man, to have their first wrestling show, and it's an honor to be doing it. So please just be as active as possible and keep up with the
Congratulations, guys.
support.
That's awesome.
Thank you, man. It's pretty awesome.
And moving pads, obviously, those will help out a lot.
Definitely
We need
moving pads.
Blankets for the TV.
You guys
so
are
we can
paying
go
in
to the
pizza
screen.
and beer, right? That's what you guys are paying in?
Yeah, pizza and beer, of
Pizza
course.
and beer mostly,
Or
so-
soda.
Well,
If
one
you guys
pizza.
need
Yeah,
soda.
if you're
We're just
don't- you don't
getting
drink.
one pizza.
One pizza
And people
Yeah.
can
and
split
a
it up.
6-pack of beer.
We're going back to 1981, getting one of those. Oh.
Well, hey, Scott, hold that thought, because we
All right.
have
I
our
always
special
do.
guest on the line right now. He has held multiple titles all over the country and is a former 2-time WWE Tag Team Champion and Light Heavyweight Champion. He's also facing Jack Evans for the first time ever this Friday at Wrestling Revolver in Clive, Iowa. I'm also honored to have him as part of our squad for the Ringside Salute Tour, going back to visit our troops overseas later this summer. He also just happens to be too cool. Ladies and gentlemen, he is Scotty Too Hotty. How are you, sir?
What are you guys up to?
Man, we're just excited to have you on.
Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you perfect.
Cool, man.
So how you been?
I'm good. I'm doing good, man. Just running around playing Mr. Mom here, picking the kids up at school, dropping them off.
It's an active life.
what a typical wrestler does.
Was it north to drop off and south to pick up? You don't want to mess that up because they yell at you in Mr. Mom.
Good call.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man.
It's a great reference. Well, starting off, one of our co-hosts, Carlin Baith, is actually a Mennonite. She's from just outside of Portland. I think that's where you're from, right?
Yeah, originally.
There you
Yeah, I grew up in Westbrook, just west of Portland.
Yeah.
But I live in Orlando now.
Well, that's probably a little bit better of a climate, I would imagine.
It's real similar,
Well, I got to tell you, I was in Portland one time, and I've never really been a lobster connoisseur, and so
Right.
while I was there, I'm like, I'm going to go to the Maine Lobster Company, because when in Rome.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I'm looking at the menu, and I see lobster, great, and then it has all the little side dishes, and I see that coming with the lobster are steamers. I don't know what steamers are. I'm thinking maybe that it's like their version of fries. I don't know.
Right.
I get a plate with a lobster and a whole bunch of these clams/oysters, which kind of terrify me. And
Right.
I just stand there and I'm staring at this lobster, and this older woman can tell that I don't know what I'm doing. And she comes up to me in the most beautiful accent. She goes, "Are you having trouble with your lobster?" I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." And she cracked open and basically fed me my lobster. It was amazing.
Wow. And you guys
That's a
have been
good
married
trick,
for
man.
3 years now.
Yes, we've been married for 3 years now.
Yeah, right.
So
I need
let-
somebody to feed me.
So let's get into it. This Friday, you're facing Jack Evans for the first time. I imagine you've seen the guy before. You're probably going to need some earplugs while dealing with him in the ring, but he is one of the most talented dudes out there. You've got to be looking forward to that.
Yeah, it sounds good, man. I don't know a lot about him. I've been trying to watch some stuff on YouTube, but I always try to, like, whoever I'm wrestling against, coming up, I always try to check them out, and I think it'll be fun, man.
Absolutely.
It looks like a great show. There's a ton of guys on that. It seems like 10 former WWE guys or whatever. So it should be a lot of fun. It's pretty uncommon for me. Usually, there's a lot of times it's only me, and I won't know anybody going into a show. So this is going to be like a big family reunion going into this one.
That's awesome. And this is their first the Wrestling Revolver. It's their first ever show, I think, right?
It is, and I believe it's sold out if I'm not mistaken, which is really pretty cool.
Yeah, as you know, that's never a guarantee. So when a place is pre-sold out 3 days in advance, that's impressive.
Yeah, right.
Good stuff. So we want to talk about your story. I don't know how many podcasts you've done. I had a hard time. Have you done a lot? Because I haven't found many.
No, I haven't done a whole lot. Not really. I mean, usually some of the bigger ones, I guess. And my friend Brian Fritz here in Orlando, he does one. I've been on his a few times, but I don't honestly do a whole lot.
Good, but then we could talk about a lot of things. Well, let's get into it. I mean, your story is really incredible. You've been in the ring since you've been a teenager, I mean, was there ever another option for you? Because you're still so incredibly young, but you must have knew right away. Was there anything else that you even considered, or you were like 15 and said, you know what, this is what I'm doing regardless?
Honestly, man, I think I was like 10, and I said, that's what I'm going to do.
Jesus.
You know, and I never wanted to do anything else. And you know, the problem is I'm kind of ruined now because I've had this awesome career and this awesome life. And you know, I still get to do such awesome things, like you said about the deal in August to Iraq. I mean, you know, what I've done up to this point allows me to do such cool things like that. But yeah, I mean, I think the very first time I ever got in the ring, I was 15 years old, and that was a WWF ring.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? The first ring I was ever in was a WWF ring.
How? Did you sneak in?
Fake mustache?
My friends and I, we used to show up to the WWF shows early, and we would help the guy that we had got to know, who was on the ring crew at the time. We would help him set the ring, and then he would leave, and he would say, "Hey, I'm going to lunch, guys. I didn't say you could get in the ring, but wink, wink." You know?
Wow.
Oh, that's perfect.
And we would get in there and mess around until we got thrown out, basically, by somebody from the arena.
So we're talking like late 80s, the WWF would come through doing a house show in Portland, and so you would always make sure you got there ahead of time?
Yeah, yep, absolutely, man.
Wow.
Absolutely. And it must have been, I had my first paid match in November of 89. So I would say that was 88 probably.
Wow.
And you were a teenager.
Yeah. I was 16 when I had my first match. So I was like 15 the first time I got in the ring.
So
yeah.
Did you have to lie about your age, fake ID? Like what?
I did. I remember when I went to WWF the first time, I think I lied on the paperwork. But even though I had just turned 18 the first time that I worked for WWF, I had heard the rumor that they didn't hire anybody under 20. So I think I put that I was 20 or something like that.
Wow.
So yeah, pretty crazy story, man. My daughter is going to be 15 this year, and it's so weird to think that I was her age. She seems so young, you know, and I guess I was, but I was just I knew what I wanted to do, man, and I never looked back, you know. And I still, you know, like I said, I still love it. I'm actually at the most enjoyable part of my career, I think. You know, I'm not, of course, not making the most money I've ever made. You know, you make that with WWE, but now I think last year I did 5 continents. Whoa. You know, I did Japan, Australia, Europe, just all over the place in so many different states, and I actually get to see something now, so it's really, really cool.
Yeah, we've mentioned that with a lot of our friends who are no longer with the company. It's when you become your own boss, there's a lot of freedom to it, and it's really like a refreshing way of looking at it.
Absolutely, I love it, man. I really do. I usually go in a day or two early. You know, especially if I go to, last time I went to Japan, I went in for a week and only did 1 show, you know, and
that's awesome.
I'm a huge theme park nerd, so, you know, hit Tokyo Disneyland for the week, and same thing with Paris, you know, go to Paris and hit the Disneyland over there and you know, work my schedule around it and make a vacation out of it, you know.
And I know you're a big theme park fan. Since you brought it up, do you have a favorite Disney character? I think everyone has one who is a Disney fanatic.
Oh man, I don't know. I guess I'd go with Mickey. You know,
right.
Just because of, you know, go back to Walt and the originals. But I'm more of a park fan than I am a movie or a character fan. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a strange dude.
So what's the best ride not in the U.S. that, you know, a bunch of theme park nuts just may never get to go overseas, and what's the ride that they're really missing out on?
Well, I think from what I've done, Phantom Manor in Paris, which is their version of the Haunted Mansion, is really, really cool.
Whoa.
But I just saw a video for Pirates of the Caribbean from the new park in Shanghai, and it looks unreal.
Really?
I think it's going to make everything currently that we know in the States just look so dated. It looks amazing.
See, that's surprising to me, because I think part of the charm, because I'm a Pennsylvania kid, so every 3-4 years my mom and dad would save up enough money, take us to Disney World, and for me, part of the charm of Pirates of the Caribbean is the old school vibe to it, where you have these robots running around chasing each other. Like, I love that.
I agree, man. I agree, and I think that's what made Disney, and that's what, and that's kind of what it feels to me. I would love to see them do more of that now. It feels like they've kind of gotten away from that, and everything has gone to, movie screens, and a lot of the rides are like, what do they call them, virtual or whatever?
Yeah, like the 3D simulation
screens,
stuff.
The dark rides that they do, like you said, with Haunted Mansion and Pirates and Splash Mountain, that's like classic Disney theme park stuff to me, like you said. So we'll see. Like I said, it looks amazing. We'll see when I actually get to do it someday.
Did you ever try and pitch to the WWE to have a theme park and have their own rides? And,
amazing.
Put wrestlers in there and stuff?
You know what? They actually did at one point. They had a little park in Niagara Falls. I never went there, but I think it was a current. It was a current park that they just bought. I don't think there was a lot there, but there were a couple rides, I believe. And I think they just closed within the last couple of years, but they never really said much about it.
Wow. Yeah, that seems like a great opportunity for a show that's so interactive and so larger than life, to have something that you could go and ride these rides and have these interactive experiences of wrestlers and rides.
Oh man!
Like if you think of Jurassic Park and the T-Rex coming down at the end at Universal Studios, that if it's a big show coming down and almost gonna drool on you or something like that.
That would be amazing.
Or the stink face from Rikishi's gonna come right at you and you dive into the water real quick.
That'd be something.
There'll be kids lining up for that ride.
For me, one of my favorite moments, you mentioned the Haunted Mansion. Nothing beats the very end of the Haunted Mansion when you go past the mirrors and one of the three main ghosts are sitting there with you. I flip out. To this day, as an adult, I flip out every time.
Yeah. That Haunted Mansion ride's
really
amazing.
Cool. They've actually changed it here to where I think they're using like some type of screen again, It's still cool, but it's not the old. It's not. I think Disneyland still has what you're talking about. So the ghost looks like he's sitting in between you or whatever.
They do. I went a couple months ago, and it's still the same. This is no ordinary waiting room. Like it's just, it's amazing.
Right.
Well, you mentioned
it's so cool, man.
You mentioned bringing your kids. Obviously to Disneyland, you live right, or Disney World, you live right there. Your daughter's 15. Does she have the wrestling bug, or are you just kind of like, no, stay away?
Yeah, I mean, she likes it. She enjoys watching it. She asked to watch a wrestling documentary last night. I don't know where that came from, but we got home and she watched the Edge documentary, which I'd never seen. It was really cool. But she doesn't really have the bug in the way that she wants to do it. Where my son is obsessed, and it says that that's what he wants to do. So. That's cool with me. Let's keep it that way,
Yeah. I mean, look, you lead a great example for them because, I mean, you started off as a young kid, 15. You were never the biggest guy, but I think you realized early on at your age when you started so young, that's not just necessarily about what you do in the ring. It's about the character. I mean, you were completely open to ideas, and when WWE came to you, I imagine with, putting you and Brian together and then Rikishi, and all of a sudden you're now Scotty 2 Hotty, like you not only embraced it, you brought it to a level that I don't even think they expected.
Oh, it was so fun, man. It's still so fun, but especially that time. And that's what people don't realize is the whole character was, I'll have people say, oh, you're such a great dancer. And it's like the whole character was, still to this day, I have never danced in public. I'm terrified.
Wow.
Outside of the ring. But the whole Scotty 2 Hotty thing was just having fun, and I was kind of making fun of white guys dancing.
Yeah.
It's like over the top and just being a goofball and like just trying to dance as horribly as possible. And it was funny and it was entertaining. So, I mean, I don't know if you remember, but when we started Too Cool, we were bad guys, and then within a matter of, I think, God, man, it must have been a month or so, we were getting cheered because we were so over the top and goofy.
So likable.
Are you concerned about a future father-daughter dance, at school with your daughter and having to bust out moves in public?
Are you going to do the worm on her wedding day?
She's been prohibited from going to any dances already.
Good.
Until she's 30. Yeah, I told her she can get her license at 16 if she waits to get married until she's over 30. So
it's a good dad.
So yeah, no dances either, man. That'll be part of the deal.
When any boys come over to date her, you have to do the Al Bundy and accidentally slam his head off the wall.
Absolutely.
So I know you've been spending a lot of time at NXT. recently at the Performance Center. When you walk in, we've never been, but when you walk in that Performance Center, part of you has to be thinking, where the hell was this when I was 25 years old?
Yeah, it's really, I mean, it's so awesome for those guys. You know, I always say, though, I'm so glad that I came up the way that I did. I really, really enjoyed the path that I took, and, you know, working shows and just, you know, going around New England, you know, making $10 to $50 a night, and just really loving what I did, and not being, you know, paid to train. It was never a job to me. Even when I was with WWE, I never referred to it as a job. It was my passion. It was fun. And I loved the way I came up, but the facility, man, is unreal. You know, it's amazing. Like you said, I was there last week, working with those guys as a trainer, as a guest trainer, and there's such awesome guys there. And I mean, there's some monsters in there. They're going to be stars once it clicks. You know, and it's so much fun for me to go in and help these guys and see a light bulb go on and say, you know, hey, just try this a little bit different. And you know, it's just it's hard for them, I think. You know, a lot of them weren't wrestling fans or you know, that wasn't their aspiration, I don't think. And they were approached by WWE to give it a try. So it's a whole different world. It is very cool, though, and it's really cool to be a part of it.
It definitely is, and the one vibe that we continually get from our friends who maybe were at NXT or are still there is that, you know, it all starts with the coaching. And from what we hear, just the positivity and just the overall attitude coming from the coaches really just shines on the entire roster. And it seems like you're just an absolute perfect fit with the rest of that crew.
I think I can bring some. Thank you, man. I think I can bring something different there. You know, you do, like you said, some awesome guys. Adam Pearce.
Oh yeah.
And Norman Smiley, Robbie Brookside. You know, Sarah Del Rey. Just awesome, good, genuine people, and that are fun to be around. And I think, I mean, I can remember the first time I went over there. I think I've been there 4 times. And the first time that I went in, and I was watching Norman Smiley's class, and the guy is just unbelievable with holds and you know, from the technical side, he's just unreal. So I'm watching this class, and I'm just standing on the outside, and he's like, Scotty, do you have anything you want to add? And I'm like, dude, what can I add? I mean, you know, I'm the worm guy, I'm the entertainment guy. So I think I can bring that part of it, and help out with that part. I think, and, you know, so much of it's timing, as you know, like with what you guys, with what you do. It's
sure.
the same thing, man. Timing, you know. And just learning when to do what, you know, the site, that part of it, you know.
Yeah, when I think back to going to the live shows back when you were wrestling with the WWE, one of my favorite memories was you and Brian at the house shows were my favorite thing to watch, because you guys would do so much fun stuff, the jumping up and down off the ropes and bragging in front of each other and then slipping and falling, and the whole audience would just crack up, and those types of things that is to your skill set. It's making the most of every moment, and something that it doesn't have to always be about the hold. It doesn't have to always be about this. It's about just giving pure entertainment. Are those the types of lessons that you're looking to impart, or do you have other lessons?
Absolutely. I mean, what you're talking about with the bouncing on the ropes and falling off, that's something I just tried one night. I was bouncing. I was like, man, this would be funny if I fell, you know. And, you know, I tried it, and I got a huge reaction. And then, you know, when I would climb back up on the apron, like, what the hell just happened? And then the crowd would start to come up. And as soon as I hear them start to come up, I would turn around and be like, hey, I'm so awesome. I meant to do that. And turn around and raise my arms. You know, and then you get another reaction out of that, you know. And then Brian would be laughing at me. Like you said, he'd be laughing at me. And then he would turn around, and I would sneak in from behind and yank his pants down around his ankles. You know, we had so much. I think we were so much better on house shows than we were on TV, just because the comedy stuff took so much time for it to develop. You know, you couldn't just go out there with a 3-minute match and do that stuff and have it work the same way.
Yeah, I've always had a lot of fun at house shows more than going to a taping. I mean, the tapings are amazing, but those house shows is where you really see like those guys develop, and you see what they're all about, really. You know, it's a lot more fun.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And, you know, that's what I'm trying to tell these guys. Just go out there and try something. And, you know, my speech whenever I gave it to those guys last week, and whenever I do my seminars, I tell them, like, you got to think, there are people coming to a wrestling show for the very first time tonight, and they're going to see 20 to 30 different personalities between the wrestlers, ring announcer, managers, referees. You got to give them something besides clotheslines and hip toss and body slams to remember you by. So you got to come up with something unique. And for me, it was the worm. It made me stand out. I could get beat every night, and after 10, 12 matches or whatever, they're not going to remember who won or lost, but they're going to remember, hey, that's the guy that did the worm. They might not even remember my name.
Yeah.
Chances are they won't if they're seeing you for the first time. But they go, oh, that's the guy that did the worm. So that's what I'm trying to get across when I go there, and that's what I think I can help out with.
And that's an amazing lesson to impart because, like you said, you have a lot of people that aren't even coming from a wrestling background who are used to just producing on the field or on the court or now in the ring, but they don't have the personality. And, the coaches, there's a little bit of everything. Like, you have the fun aspect of it, but, I've worked with Adam Pearce for years. One of the best promos, right. Not only is he amazing in the ring, one of the best promos in the game, and he makes you believe every word he says. He is an intimidating guy. And so you get a little bit of everything there. It's great.
Right, and and I realize not everybody's stick is going to be comedy. There's guys down there that are, 6'5" and just jacked, man. And I say, I'll say to them, I don't think you realize how big you are. These guys are football players who, ever since, they were little kids, they were probably the biggest kid on the team, and they just grew up and they're playing, some of them in the NFL with giants, and now here they are, and they just don't realize how big they are. So. It's like you need to use what you have to your advantage, make yourself stand out.
Yeah, and it's a bit too. The full act of you and Brian and Rikishi, that Rikishi would happily look the fool sometimes, and being a gigantic guy and looking like a goof makes him vulnerable, and the crowd would care that much more, either to laugh at him if he's being a bad guy, and then he gets riled up, or in the opposite of like what you were talking about with bouncing off the ropes, that it adds that extra element that makes a more well-rounded character.
Yeah, moments.
Absolutely, but you also, as you guys know, you need to know when to do it and when not to do it. Mm-hmm. So once, I do it on the front end of the match and maybe a little bit in the comeback towards the end, but in the middle, when you're getting your ass kicked, you don't want to be doing funny stuff and making the crowd laugh. Yeah. So that's something that comes in time, and you learn as you go. You want to bring it down and make it a little bit more serious. So, we all, I think that was part of why the three of us clicked. We could all make fun of ourselves and take it. We would do stuff to Rikishi on house shows where, we would slide the yellow glasses on him to go to do the three-way dance at the end, but we had taken the glasses and duct taped the insides so he couldn't see. Stuff like that, and have fun, just make it fun for each other. When you're out on the road 250 days a year or whatever, you just try to do stuff to entertain yourself sometimes.
Yeah, and you guys mastered the art of being a great tag team. There's a lot of good tag teams at NXT that you've worked with. We all see Jordan and Gable they are tag team wrestling right now, but what would be maybe one or two of your favorite teams that you see there right now, or maybe that are coming up?
Oh man, I love Enzo and Cash.
Yep.
I know they just went up to the main roster, but I think they're going to be huge. Enzo can talk so well, and Cash is he's a giant. And he's actually one of the guys. The first time I went to the training center, I was like, dude, you have a gift. You need to realize that and use that, man. And it's so cool to see those guys come into their own and get over with the crowd. It's so as a trainer on the training side, it's so cool to see that happen. But also the Vaudevillains, love those guys. So fun to watch. Dawson and Dash and Dawson again. I watched their match last week, and I told them after, you guys are different. Do what you do, and man, go balls to the wall with it, because they're so believable with what they do. And it's something that I don't think we've seen for quite a while with the serious side of the tag team.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Jordan and Gable and the Revival to top what they did at TakeOver in Dallas, but they're going to try to do it, this week.
It's going to be a barn burner.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, it should be a fun one, man.
It's going to be really good. Scott, I know you want to ask about the...
Yeah, there's one of my favorite matches of yours was back from Backlash 2000 with you and Dean Malenko for the light heavyweight championship. That night, I remember watching it live, and that was back when I was getting big into it as a fan, and was looking forward to the match. Had no idea of what that match would be. I mean, it was one of those matches where everybody raved about it, and it's a great match. Still holds up to this day. Just the expectations of that match. Did you guys have those expectations for yourselves? Did it surpass what you thought it was going to be? What was that match to you and Dean that night?
It really wasn't at the time. Like, I mean, I don't even think going into it, I didn't really have any ideas or anything. But it's one of those matches that people bring up to me all the time. And Dean and I had worked so many times at that point. Mm-hmm. And it felt like we were on Shotgun Saturday Night or Heat every week, and then we'd be on Raw. And then I think I was supposed to be the champion going into that match, but something had happened with Viscera. I was supposed to wrestle Viscera on Raw the week before the pay-per-view and beat Viscera with the Worm, and he wasn't happy about it. And he went to Vince, and they told him to basically go home. And they put me and Dean together on Raw, and Dean ended up beating me for the light heavyweight. So we went into the pay-per-view with him as the champion and me as the challenger. And then, so it was just another match, really. And to look back and watch it now, I almost broke my neck in the finish.
Yeah,
you remember that?
That finish, man. Yeah, that DDT crazy. Looked like a real DDT.
Yeah, I think it felt like it too. I don't know why I had my neck fused shortly after that, but I remember walking back to the curtain and Linda McMahon pulled me aside. She's like, "Don't ever do that again." Wow. I was like, yes. Yeah. So yeah, it was a lot. Dean was a lot of fun for me to work with. I think he's a funny guy, man. Like you would never know it, like watching his matches, but he's very, very dry and funny. But in the ring he's so serious.
Yeah.
But I can remember we would be on house shows and I would hit him with a bulldog to set up the Worm. And the guy lays there for like 30 seconds before I actually hit it, and I would look down, and he'd be pretending he's smoking a cigarette or something. So it was he was a good dude. He was fun. He was good for me because our characters were so opposite, and he's great in the ring. So I learned a lot from him.
And I know you had that fusion years ago. Obviously, that surgeon must have done a hell of a job because you seem to be, going full tilt even after all these years.
Yeah, he told me, and he said I could after I had it done. He said I could drop you off the Empire State Building now, and you could shatter in a million pieces, but your neck would still be together.
Okay.
So that's good. That's good to know going forward.
That's
I've had honestly, knock on wood, I've had no problems with it. So
great,
beautiful.
I would recommend it to anyone.
Who needs it, of course.
Who needs it? Yeah.
Why not just get a super strong spine?
Just in case.
My appointment's next week. I have to go get it.
What would you say, a couple more questions for you, then we'll let you go, but what would you say the biggest difference now between WWE and when you were on the main roster, say, 10, 15 years ago? There's so much more television now,
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And now it's what? On a pay-per-view week, you'll have like a 3-hour pay-per-view, then a 3-hour Raw on Monday, and then a 2-hour SmackDown live. Like you said, that is a lot, man. It's hard to stay fresh as a character when there's that much television, But yeah, I don't know. The difference was, I mean, it was the '90s, 2000. It was that era where everything was just, you could push the envelope so far, not only wrestling, but radio. I mean, you had Howard Stern out there. He did whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
We did pretty much whatever we wanted. It was the same. So it was, I always say, man, like my career peaked when the wrestling business peaked. It was like perfect timing. Mm-hmm. I don't know if we'll ever see that again, where it felt like, to me, like everywhere you went, you would see, wrestling shirts, people wearing, Austin 316 or NWO or DX shirts everywhere, and hopefully a couple Too Cool shirts. But,
oh yeah.
but it was like the cool thing. It felt like the whole world was watching at the time. It was definitely a cool time to be there.
Yeah, and I think with the way social media is in 2016, there's obviously positives to it because now the fans have a bigger say than ever before, but that also brings on all the drawbacks to where I feel like creatively you get stifled because say you do one angle that gets a lot of complaints online, all of a sudden you have to do damage control instead of just saying, hey, this is our art form, let us be.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely. And I hate to jump on that bandwagon where the internet killed it, but I won't say it killed it, but I think it's hurt it because the elements of surprise is such a huge part of what we do. And how many times have the fans been robbed because it's leaked out? Like when I was a kid, I can remember I didn't care about the matches. I wanted to see somebody turn. I wanted to see somebody new show up.
Yep.
Or I want to see a title change hands. That's what I look forward to. And now, it feels like 90% of the time it's leaked on before it happens.
Yep.
Chris Jericho's in the building tonight. So that does kind of suck. But it's just the fans that get robbed of it, I guess.
They do. Well, on a bright note, I want to talk about the Ringside Salute Tour going back to over. I don't want to say where we're going because we can't, but we're going somewhere overseas to entertain the troops.
Oh, whoops.
I cannot even tell you how excited I am to have you on. It's funny because Ken Anderson and I, we went on the tour last year, and Ken and I we always like brainstorm ideas about the tour, and I said, who can we get on the tour this year? And he goes, well, I'm good buddies with Scotty. I said, oh my God, yeah. If you can reach out to him, please do. And when we got you on board, man, now we have the whole squad. We haven't actually announced publicly who everyone is yet, but hell, you're on the show, you're part of it, so that's official. But how excited are you?
I can remember seeing the pictures from last year and going, wow, this looks so awesome. It'd be so cool to be a part of that. So I'm so excited. There's no doubt it's going to be a career highlight. When do you get the chance to do something like this? It's gonna be so cool, man. I'm so excited.
Plus, with the people we have going, I can't even tell you how much. Number one, it's very touching and it's personal to meet all the incredible troops we have. But we have so much fun when you have a good group of people.
Oh, absolutely, it makes a world of difference,
And you never, and you never got a chance to go with WWE.
I never went.
Wow.
No, I never did. The funny thing is, when I was there, everything was so hot here. It felt like we did so much in the States, so I didn't do a whole lot outside of the U.S. Internationally. I did a couple short tours, but there wasn't a whole lot of long. Maybe one or two long European tours or whatever. For the most part, it was we'd go do one shot somewhere and come back, and I never had the chance to do any of the salute to the troops or anything like that. So,
well,
this is really cool, man.
It's an honor to have you on board. One last question. This is a fun one. All right, so number one, how and when did you perfect the worm? And number two, have you worked with anyone who can do it remotely as good as you?
Oh man, it was just one of those things where back to the house shows where you have time to try stuff. I just started the Scotty Too Hotty thing, and I was doing some singles matches, and I started throwing it in the match. And at the time I was just like hitting the ropes, and I would stop, and I would worm across, and there wasn't the whole WRM or the who yet. It was just starting. So, but when I would do just the worm itself, I heard the reaction that I was getting from the crowd. So I knew that I was onto something. I just had to toy with it and figure out what I was going to do. And then I started hopping from one side to the other to get into place to do it. And one night on Raw, Jerry Lawler spelled out, WORM. And I asked him if he would keep doing that. And within a month, man, he was, the whole arena was chanting along.
Amazing.
So I was very lucky, to have something like that. So, but as far as somebody could do it better, man, Jerry was pretty good.
Oh, all right.
He could do it backwards,
What?
Wow.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, my son's pretty good at the worm too.
Oh,
Son of Worm.
oh boy, that's gonna watch out in a couple of years. Well, we can't thank you
so
enough.
Proud to pass that along.
Well, find him on Twitter at the Scotty2Hotty, or if you want to book him, ScottyBookings@AOL.com. Scotty, we cannot thank you enough, and I'll be seeing you soon enough. And once again, thanks for being our special guest today, man.
Absolutely, man. Thank you, guys.
You
Good
got
talking
it.
with you.
Talk soon.
Take care.
Thanks, Scotty.
All right, bye-bye.
How cool is he?
Awesome.
And it's funny because, like, not everyone has that kind of character as far as, like, when you think of Scotty2Hotty, all you do is smile.
Yeah.
Every memory is like, oh, yeah, so many.
He made
Great
me
moments.
want to try the worm.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I can't either. I
don't have
tried
the
so many
flexibility.
times.
Yeah, my lumbar spine's awful.
Go get it fixed.
Yeah, go get your neck. Go
Get
your
it
neck
fused. I'm gonna get it
and then you can
fused.
just be thrown off the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
Got it.
King Kong didn't do it. Look what happened to him.
That's true. Yeah, he's laying in a heap somewhere.
Yeah.
But wow, what a cool dude. I knew this was going to be a great interview. I could not wait to have him on the show.
He's awesome.
It's very fun.
What a way to start. So now, Slamcast News. Well, y'all, Brock Lesnar is going to fight at UFC 200 July 9th.
Rad.
Taking on Mark Hunt, who I
Oh,
believe
boy.
is a massive individual.
Oh, Mark Hunt is an animal, man.
Yeah.
Just that
Two beasts
dude.
going at each other.
Should we be concerned for Lesnar? He hasn't fought. I know he's probably always training.
I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, this ain't going to go the distance, let's put it that way.
He doesn't have the diverticulitis. He's gonna be. I mean, this guy wants to fight all
Yeah.
the time. You
Yeah.
watch his matches and you go, "Yeah." Someone remind Brock of what's going on
Yeah,
in there.
exactly.
You know, Roman Reigns. Anybody who gets in the ring with Brock, it's like, all right, he's up.
Yeah, he's,
Jericho went after him a little bit in the Rumble because they never really did anything together. But he did something like he chopped him or something, and then it just this like puff of smoke that was Chris Jericho's outline was in the ring and just got shoved to the corner by Brock intensely quick. And I was like, yeah, I bet you regret that.
You stupid idiot.
That's probably what he was thinking.
Yeah, to himself.
But so Lesnar technically is not confirmed yet for SummerSlam, but WWE gave him the permission to fight at UFC 200. So hey, what the hell?
I thought he said, I believe on SportsCenter recently, that he said he is booked. He doesn't know who he's facing for
Good.
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But he is there, and I think UFC is promoting SummerSlam.
Party
'Cause
on.
it's like close to or like the night before or something like that.
Whatever happened with Morrow, that if he's getting in their heads like, yeah, let fighting be a cross promotion amongst
Absolutely.
wrestling. Like,
Yeah,
let
because
it-
you look
let
how
it
good
be.
Morrow is. Morrow absolutely loves wrestling. Look at Ronda Rousey and the Four Horsewomen. They're at front row every event they could be at. I mean,
But
whether
Morrow's
or not
still doing other events and
Sure.
still doing other commentary, and them allowing that. I think it's
he
a
has
great
his,
idea.
His podcast with Boss Rutan.
Yeah, and as much as Dana White likes to talk smack on wrestling, I'm starting to think he's doing it just to get a rise out of people and just to get more attention towards it. I think he's smart enough to realize that crossing over is smart.
Dana White pushing buttons?
Yeah, right? Go figure!
way!
Oh,
Never would
man.
have guessed that.
welcome.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm more than positive I'm going to that UFC show.
Oh, really?
Is it in Vegas?
I don't know,
I
but
think it's in Vegas.
I'm going.
Okay.
It's 200, right?
UFC 200,
Yeah.
it's
July
definitely
9th.
gonna
I
be in
want to
Vegas.
say Vegas.
It's going to be in Vegas.
So that's something.
It's gonna be rad.
Also very exciting, Cody Rhodes, we saw last week, he tweeted out all the goal aspirations for himself now that he left WWE. Well, he's already confirmed he's going to be at Battle of Los Angeles in August for PWG.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Huge.
Cody is he's the man.
And I finally got into one of those shows. There's no way to see this. It's impossible.
I still haven't gone. I've yet to go to PWG yet.
I've been a couple times. I'm often out of town whenever they have their shows, which is a bummer.
Yeah, this might be the one that I bite the bullet.
Well, whenever tickets go on
Bite the bullet.
sale, they're going to sell out in about 7 seconds.
Yeah, get your PayPal ready.
Yeah.
Sit
Put out
nearby.
feelers to all friends like get an extra ticket.
Listen, any wrestling fans you know, touch base with them.
Touch balls with them.
Touch balls with them.
Whatever you gotta touch.
Yeah.
Just touch it.
Touch
Get
'em.
a ticket.
Just touch them and get a ticket.
That's what you got to do. I don't even think they announced the dates yet for it, but Battle of LA always happens in August. So
Okay.
Cody Rhodes will be part of that, which is
That's
It's gonna be-
crazy.
they're going to throw a huge lineup together. PWG always they bring it,
Oh my
especially
God.
for the Battle of LA.
and especially Cody being so excited about it and being so eager. He's already taking on. Actually, this will be after Battle of LA. He's taking on Kurt Angle August 27th somewhere as well.
And Mike Bennett, I believe, the same weekend. So I think he's doing Kurt Angle
damn.
the Friday night, and then
I mean, look,
Bennett on Saturday.
The way Cody left was in a very professional manner, and he basically said, he's like, look, this is what I want to do. And he put that list out. Well, who wouldn't want to work with Cody Rhodes? The guy's a damn genius in the ring and outside the ring.
Yeah.
I mean, he took Stardust and made it what it was.
One of my favorite characters.
Yeah. Apparently not one of his, but he made it work, and it's incredible. So kudos to him.
It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool.
Good on him. Former German goalkeeper, I'm gonna say Tim Weiss. I don't know.
Tim Weiss.
Weiss.
Timothy Weiss.
Das ist gut.
Performance Center.
He accepted an offer to go to the Performance Center, I guess, for a good 4 years now. There's been rumors about how he loves wrestling, how he wants to train. The dude's he's brick house. I mean, 6'4", 2-something, in incredible shape. And so he's going to go for an extended period of time down to Florida.
You know who I've heard has been a trainer at the Performance Center from time to time?
Who's that?
Alex Wright. Just think of that connection.
Das Wonder Kid?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Think of that connection.
That's amazing.
If those two get together, he shows them his moves.
There's a lot of exciting news this week. And how about this?
Yeah.
The Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, which I know all three of us watched all the time growing up on Saturdays.
Big Bad Mama.
Big Bad Mama. My favorite was Cheyenne, the Cherokee girl. Yeah,
There you go.
big crush on her when I was a kid.
All right.
Yeah. Well, Glow is coming to Netflix. The executive producer of Orange is the New Black, Genji Cohan, got the green light for a 10-episode order. It's actually happening. It's gonna be a thing. 10 episodes. It's gonna be a fictional story, I believe, following an actress who gets in the world of Glow and becomes one of the stars.
Wow.
Right?
Be cool to see.
Are you
Hell
going to
yeah.
audition for this show?
I don't. What could I be?
Ring announcer? Or no? It was an all-female cast, huh?
No, there was a guy ring announcer. I do remember that.
there you go.
Because he would always get clowned by all the wrestlers.
Yeah. Let's put it in there.
Johnny
let's put it out.
Glam Quasto.
You know what?
Call Johnny LaQuasto.
Let's
Johnny
get
Glam Quasto.
Johnny Glam Quasto.
let's get a social media campaign going right now. I don't know what we have to hashtag it.
Hashtag Glam Quasto.
Glow Quasto.
Yeah.
Glow Quasto.
Quasto.
Johnny Glow Quasto.
Oh my God.
Hashtag at Genji Cohan or something.
Netflix.
Hashtag Glow Quasto. Get me on there as the ring announcer, ring interviewer,
Glow Quasto.
Janitor, best boy, grip.
Yeah.
You don't want to
care.
be the Mike Bennett of that place.
Oh yeah, he had to do a lot of cleanup this week, which we will get to. But yeah, really exciting stuff. Congratulations to Genji Cohan for doing this and for wanting to do it, and for, when you're the EP at Orange is the New Black, who's gonna say no?
Right.
You could be like,
You have a green light for anything.
you damn right you do, and Glow is coming to Netflix, which is dope. And this is your Slamcast news. Well, gentlemen, we had a return.
You must be so excited.
Yo, lost my mind. People were tweeting. See, the thing is, I was late watching Raw, so I had to watch. I was delayed. So, but I saw my Twitter. I was trying not to look, but Twitter was going crazy last night. Like, oh, Johnny must be pumped up right now. And I was like, oh, it's got to be Teddy Long. And he came back.
Man.
I ain't got time for you.
That's right. Just so amazing.
Why aren't you wearing your oversized suit today?
Yeah.
Oh, it's in the dry cleaners. It takes them 3 weeks to clean.
Don't let him dry it up and make it fit.
Oh no, I'll get another big
Yeah,
one.
you got to get the long coat, the vest underneath.
Damn right.
That was an unexpected return.
Yeah, and I love how he just started shouting out different types of matches, some which didn't make a lot of sense.
No.
An Iron Man. What was it, an Iron Man like fatal four-way?
Tag team match.
That's right.
Stick with what you know, Teddy. Don't try to go out there and create match types.
No, I was waiting for him to say it.
Tag team match.
And he finally did at the very, very end of
He's
the episode.
leading to it.
Oh, man. Just so good.
That was that was an interesting thing. That was definitely unexpected. I mean, are they making a play for him to be the new SmackDown GM? Are they bringing Teddy Long back?
As much as I love Teddy Long, you can't. I mean, this is a brand new move.
What do you
it's
mean
live.
you can't? Think of the ratings. Think of them.
Teddy Long.
I'm thinking of him, and I
ratings-
still agree. You can't do it.
Teddy Long ratings booster?
I just, SmackDown, it's going to be a new night. It's going to be live. You got to have someone new. And I think Teddy would even agree. He's enjoying his time right now,
I think
Time
it'd be a
off.
fun idea to bring back all these characters that have been running either Raw or SmackDown and put in a spot for it and have some new people that haven't done it.
You're making a play for Mike Adamle
You're
right now.
damn right.
I knew it. I knew where you were. I knew you were getting at it.
That guy's finally going to know everyone's names.
No, he's not.
He's got
He
it.
still thinks Jeff Harvey is in the WWE.
Yeah, but he thinks Jeff Harvey is, and that guy's Jack Swagger.
It's true.
hell? What? Okay.
That he's going to go up to Jack Swagger and go, "Hi, Jeff Harvey. Nice to meet you.
Good God Almighty.
Sorry to hear about your brother Matt."
Ooh.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that.
And then he thinks Matt is Zeb.
Brother Nero.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see all the former GMs come back and make appearances. I mean, just
Eric Bischoff?
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen. But
Heyman putting in a,
Ric Flair?
how about
Former
Vicky
GM?
showing up?
Yeah, what's she doing? Selling
right.
insurance, I think.
She's doing fine, but it'd be nice for her to come back and try to make a play and just get that Vicky Guerrero boo from everyone.
Yeah. Oh, heat magnet.
Who else? Who would be other former GMs that we had?
Kurt Angle was former GM.
Oh, good point.
Bring Kurt back
Sure.
in his wheelchair. We have to bring Kurt back in the wheelchair.
AJ Lee.
AJ Lee.
She probably
always bring her
She probably
back.
won't show up.
I think she's available.
Ah,
She's definitely,
She's written a
seems
book.
She's written a book. She want to promote that book.
sure.
That's right. We're
Nothing's
better,
stopping her from coming back.
We're better to
There's
promote it than WWE.
There's already a UFC tie-in. We might want to
Oh, boy.
talk about that.
Yeah, we already talked about that. Sure. Nothing.
Mr.
It seems like it's all synergy right there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No reason to stop that from happening.
There's no hard feelings on that end.
No, not at all.
All mature adults that get along
Very-
just fine. If Mike Adamle can come back, anything is possible.
This is true.
I don't. Wow, Mike Adamle. I don't think he's going to be coming back. I will say that much.
Oh, you're a hater.
I'm not a hater.
Johnny doesn't believe.
Try not to be a hater. What I did love is Cena and AJ Styles just sounding off on each other.
Oh my God.
This
good.
was a special segment, special moment. AJ was on fire.
Great on your little morning shows and your late night shows, your movies, not necessarily the ones you star, but your cameos are very entertaining.
That was such a dig, and it was fantastic.
It was a good
Shot.
dig. It was a good, accurate dig.
Yeah.
Oh, he was great in Trainwreck, for sure.
But the Marine? Oof.
I didn't see it.
I didn't either.
Haven't seen it. I'm worried about doing a marine-a-thon.
Are really?
Yeah.
There's so many.
There's 4.
You got to get the one with Ted DiBiase. Randy. Was Randy in Orton?
No, it was Cena, and then DiBiase,
The $1,000 man.
and then yeah,
Randy was
and then-
condemned. I think condemned.
Condemned
right?
too?
Yeah, condemned.
14 rounds?
Yeah, maybe it was 14 rounds. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he's in 12 rounds too.
12 rounds, 14 rounds.
And condemned
Oh,
too.
he's in both. Got it.
And then you got Miz in number 3 of Marine, and then Miz and Summer Rae in number 4.
But now he's about to film 5, I think.
He is.
The Miz?
Yeah.
But they need somebody else in there. You can't just keep having one person. You got to throw in a second, like getting Kozlov or somebody. Like
Yeah.
get somebody in there. Mike Adamle, giving him the orders. Think about
Drill
that.
Sergeant Mike Adamle?
He's getting all the orders wrong, and then Miz is going doing the wrong missions. Let's go comedy.
You have built-in conflict already.
I think you have an idea.
I have a lot of WWE film ideas.
Well,
They're
Cena
not taking my calls.
Cena had a great response too, AJ.
tweak.
Because every one of the little cronies you've been surrounding yourself for the last 20 years have been saying you're God's gift to sports entertainment. But you get here and you're a bust.
I mean, damn.
They called him the Bullet Club too.
They were throwing heat
I
at each
think he
other.
said Fullet Club or Pullet Club
Pullet
or
Club.
something.
If he said the Bullet Club, that's way dirty.
A little weird. Yeah, but I think that's what it was.
I turned on closed captioning on Hulu, and it said Bullet Club. The closed captioning person thought Cena said Bullet Club. They're a professional.
They can't mention it
I don't know.
due to like trademark reasons.
I think-
obviously,
I
or
think
I
is
assume
it
they just don't like gun association.
I think it's trademarked in No Japan.
Yeah,
think.
but maybe yeah.
I don't know.
I thought he said
It would be weird that you just can't mention it at all. I mean, they were going at each other, man. I like that.
And-
That was very good.
Guys like you bury guys like me.
Say what? Yo, this was so real. In a
Pantomime
matter of a
struggles?
week, they have us completely invested in what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Just so good. To where the crowd even the crowd was like, God, we want to boo Cena, but he's doing good right now.
Did you see his reaction to that the burial comment? He like a deer in headlights. He was like, "Oh, I didn't."
It's like, oh, you know?
Yeah.
You found out?
Someone told you?
Yeah,
and,
well,
and Cena gave AJ major props at the start of that, saying, the only other guy he's felt that electricity with was The Rock.
Sure.
So putting AJ up there on that pedestal, that's pretty cool.
It is. I mean, the moment was amazing last week, and then last night they really brought it to the next level. I mean, we're going to have a match at Money in the Bank. This is the kind of feud, though, I would really like to see this, play out for quite some time.
There's no title, there's
Nope.
no shot at a title, there's no briefcase, there's no nothing to this
Just-
match. It's just two guys.
Two franchise players going at each other, man.
Yeah, and I think Cena realizes, at this point, I'm sure he's going to have another title run in him, but I like the fact that he doesn't have to be involved in the title. He can make another storyline right up there with the title.
The John Cena Goodwill run.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's a good point. Good point. It's
a great way to
put it. I mean, last night on, I want to say last night, but on Raw, Rollins and Reigns, we just had video packages. Nothing from either one of them. Well done video packages.
Amazing.
Sure. Yeah. The given the story, in case, if you haven't seen any of it. But I do enjoy it when they showcase other things. So we got Cena and AJ in the ring, and then we're getting the video packages of this. You're getting the whole history of the Shield. I got excited seeing Shield stuff again. I'm like,
totally.
Yeah.
I missed that. And then, but it's going to culminate in something really cool next week with Ambrose Asylum with both guys.
JBL mentioned it last night. He said that Ambrose could win and cash in on one of his former Shield members. I feel like they're planting those breadcrumbs. You know what I mean? They're planting those little seeds.
I feel like they
plant breadcrumbs.
How do you plant a breadcrumb?
They're planting breadcrumbs, and then you water the breadcrumb, and then the bread it grows into a loaf.
It grows into bread. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Wow.
That's totally how it works.
Yeah,
that's how you bake bread. If anyone's wondering, go outside, dig a hole, put some breadcrumbs in there, water it. You'll have a loaf.
Is that why the Amish always have so much bread?
Yeah, because they plant bread.
Got it.
And they raise roofs.
They do. They raise a lot. They also make good whoopie pies.
Oh, no, they're not allowed to do that unless they're married.
Oh, okay. No, that's whoopie.
That's sinning.
Whoopie pies. You can eat the...
I feel like that's a Sin Bodhi character, the next Freak Show
The
wrestling.
whoopie pie?
The whoopie pie. The scandalous Amish lady wrestler. Whoopie pie.
Oh, boy.
I ain't got time for you.
I got ideas for Sin, too. He's not picking up my phone calls.
No, I think your phone might be busted.
Oh, that could be true.
Yeah, it very well might be. So do you think, though, I mean, to me, the whole Ambrose winning Money in the Bank, it seems a tad predictable to me, turning into a triple threat at SummerSlam.
But it's predictable bad?
No, not necessarily. I mean, those three together. The question is, though, would Ambrose surprise cash in, or do the Cena thing and say, ahead of time, I'm cashing in, this is now a triple threat?
I mean, you got to think, they're not going to have... the way they're positioning it is like they're saying this Rollins-Reigns match is like a WrestleMania main event that we're putting on Money in the Bank. So obviously, all things considered, that should go on last, right?
Yeah.
It's going to have to.
Dean wins earlier in the night, right after the introductions. Music hits. I mean, come on, that's a
good
huge...
tease. It's a good tease. I really enjoy, except when Sheamus had it. I like the fact when guys hang on to the briefcase for a while.
Build that tension.
Yeah.
But we haven't had. I mean, when was the last time we had a surprise same night sort of cash?
Kane?
Yeah,
It's been a little while.
Was it Kane?
it's been a while. I mean, and it would, that's a huge thing. But again, though, do you really want to waste that before SummerSlam or like a bigger event?
Is this the final pay-per-view before SummerSlam? I feel like there's one in July.
Yeah. I don't remember what it is.
Payback or Battleground, maybe? Or no, is that?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
No,
I still
bet
want
already
the fruition of what we never got out of Mr. Kennedy. I want I am challenging for this at WrestleMania. I'm headlining the show. Whoever's champ, like, I'm there.
Yeah.
I think that's such a cool, exciting idea, but it never happened with him.
Right. Battleground, July 24th.
Okay, so there is one more in between.
So yeah, July 24th, and then of course SummerSlam is August 21st. So Battleground is really, I mean, I feel like Money in the Bank is setting up SummerSlam pretty well, but Battleground's going to really have to, piggyback off of that.
Sure. Yeah, there's going to be some big story in place, something going down.
You would think. Speaking of Money in the Bank, though, the competitors starting off Raw, facing off on ladders where everyone is just talking smack on each other. I think for me, my favorite moment was when Ambrose talked about how stupid Jericho looked with his legs crossed.
I agree. That was the best.
And he's just staring at him like...
Jericho's on a whole other level right
Right?
now.
You talk about... People need to watch him. If you're new in the business, I think you're smart enough to watch Jericho. The dude
100%.
reinvents himself all the time to where now he's just a petulant child.
It's amazing.
Stupid idiot.
They started the you stupid idiot chant last night. Stupid idiot during his match.
It's amazing.
And then I know you are, but what am I?
Oh my God!
He called Teddy Long a bag of bones. What?
He's on a whole different level. Like, I mean, he's like you said. Every time he comes back, he reinvents himself. He brings something new to the character.
But this is a brand new. I mean, this is better than any of his last 19 returns because he gets me. I'm excited to see Chris Jericho come out again. I mean, it's always great to see him, but in the past, it's like, all right, he comes back for a run. You know, he's not going to go over because unfortunately he's going back to perform with the band or whatever. Here, it's like, I don't care what he does in the ring. I'm excited to see what he's going to say and how he's going to respond.
He's my pick. He's still my pick.
Is
For
he
Money in
really?
the Bank?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm saying the whole, yeah, I want it.
Ooh.
Which one?
Apple?
Appleton?
Apple? Big Apple?
This might be my favorite version of his character since the late WCW conspiracy theorist.
Okay.
See, I enjoyed him as Undisputed Champion as well.
Oh, really?
I love that version of Chris Jericho. Just
My
a
favorite
smarmy heel.
was the him and Shawn Michaels one.
Oh, the very serious best in the world at what I do.
Yeah.
See, this seems like a mix. This current version is like best in the world at what I do, and the conspiracy theorist, where he's like, I can play the fool, but like I'm also incredibly. I mean, he's
really killing it right now. I mean, all these guys are doing such a great job. And every one of them is a legit contender.
Easily.
That's the best part about this Money in the Bank match, more so than other years. There's already so much heat between all these guys. You have KO and Zayn hate each other. Jericho and Ambrose hate each other. Everyone hates KO. Everyone hates ADR.
Yeah.
He calls them a bunch of gringos. And everyone is kind of afraid of Cesaro. So it's like the dynamic of it. It's unbelievable.
It's a great dynamic.
As much as I wanted to see a seventh person be a surprise, you don't need it. You have these six guys.
It would muddy the waters. That, if you added a seventh, it would have to be a huge splash of a seventh.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you just put in Brock and then you go, oh, those poor six guys.
Sorry, guys.
And on Raw, ADR, Cesaro, and Ambrose all go over, so everyone is really, incredibly credible going into this match. And like you said, Lev, sheesh. The winner, they could tease the cash in after the title match. This is going to be a hell of a pay-per-view.
It's shaping up to be, man. Money in the Bank. I think Money in the Bank has overtaken Survivor Series in terms of being that fourth big pay-per-view. I mean, you have Royal Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam. I think Money in the Bank is that new fourth big one where it's like, all right, we're setting things up for the rest of the year almost.
Well, they follow through with it. Survivor Series so oftentimes doesn't follow through with the Survivor Series matches, and then when they do that, there's really nothing at stake.
No.
Yep.
So I mean, if they really put some credibility back into that show, it would get that spot back. But I think you're right.
Well, I remember, we're at the 5-year anniversary of the famous Cena Punk, where Punk ran out. And I remember I had to go to a friend's barbecue that day. It was one of my friends from home, one of the guys I moved to California with. He was married, he had a house, and he's like, we're having a big thing, you got to come. And I was like, yeah, I got to watch this thing.
Yeah.
And, of course, he's like, whatever, you could just watch it at my house. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to pay the $50 by myself. I'm going to watch this pay-per-view. So I purchase it. It goes on this big TV.
Social party animal.
Oh, God.
Hiding himself away. I just need to watch this for 3 hours.
Johnny's locked in, just
That means it's on, y'all.
Yeah,
No empty carbs. Get me out of there.
I put it on in the living room, and there were about, I'd say, a good 30 people at this barbecue.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, guys, don't mind me. I need to watch this. This is very important.
They all minded you.
100%.
Here's the thing. Of course, people are saying their little comments.
Yes.
By the end of the pay-per-view, at least 2/3 of the people at the party were sitting on the couches, riveted by what was going on with Cena and Punk, because they got to watch the video package. They understood right away what was happening. They realized it was a historic moment. And then when Punk ran out with that title and waved goodbye to Vince, no one made fun of me afterwards. They're like, well, "That's pretty entertaining." I'm like, "Yeah, you doofus. Of course it is.
It's a great pay-per-view.
Makes me aerogigantic."
More aerogigantic.
You made fun of them. You
Yeah.
turned it around.
Yeah.
You were the bully.
I did the classic Stone Cold Bret Hart turn while watching a pay-per-view.
Double turn.
And your friend was Ken Shamrock.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
He let it all happen.
he was wearing a black and white striped shirt. So yeah,
And
Money in the
shorts.
Bank. It's
Bicycle shorts.
He
you
just
know,
came from his job at Foot Locker. That's what he was saying.
that put Money in the Bank on a whole new level for sure. Charlotte and Dana Brooke, not quite sure what is going on. Kind of a strange segment where Charlotte started to almost apologize, and then they end up destroying Natty and Becky Lynch. I don't know why she was starting to apologize. I don't know if this was some kind of internet backlash.
But why? Just go full bore with it. You know what I
I
mean?
don't
Like, I
know.
mean, if you're gonna insult your father and do all this stuff, just follow through. That's all. That's all I ask.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it still read to me of just her being a dirty heel of saying, oh, I'm sorry, I still love you. I still want to spend time with you.
All right.
And around Christmas, even though you didn't for me, still doing the like she did
Digging the knife in.
couple of more digs in there. Like, I still want to work out with you. I still want to do that stuff.
Point
but
taken.
I won't work with you professionally.
Point taken. Either way, though, I don't know if this is going to lead to this might be a tag match, not a title match at Money in the Bank.
Could be.
Yeah.
So
Give a chance to Dana to shine.
And speaking of
Tag team match.
thanks to Teddy Long, or Stephanie took credit for it. We have a fatal 4-way at Money in the Bank. New Day versus the Vaudevillains versus Enzo and Class versus The Club.
And you can't teach that.
That's going to be
There's nothing to teach there.
I know.
It's not a teachable thing.
He hates Enzo and Cass.
Really?
He's gone on record.
Why?
He respectfully declines enjoying them.
That's pretty much what it is.
Do you hate fun?
I get it.
Fun things?
Clearly, look.
Do you not enjoy yourself?
I go to a party and I turn on wrestling.
I'll give you a round
Lock
of applause
yourself
for
in a
that.
room.
Yeah.
I've got to watch the Big Show's documentary. Leave me be.
Get out of here.
A Giant's Journey.
You haven't seen Swerved yet.
Is there why?
It's just they rub me the wrong way.
I can understand
It's,
that. Yeah.
it's everybody's got something where they're like, you don't love this guy. Like, no, it grates on my non souped up spine.
Would you like it if and possibly when they turn? Would you accept it for being like, oh, this now they're going for?
I already boo them, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Like I will still make noise.
Right.
So I'm
You're gonna make noise
involved.
regardless. Yeah.
Drink it in, man.
There you go. That's Scotty's opinion on Enzo and Cass. Either way, though, this match is going to be pure fire.
I'm thinking Club. They're building up Club pretty strong. I'm worried about. They brought up London and Kendrick, which was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I gotta believe New Day is going to break that record, though.
Yep.
It'd be nice, but you just don't know with the
They're getting
momentum of the
close.
Club right now.
They're getting close.
It's like 100 days away.
No, not even. London and Kendrick, I want to say were 336 or something, and New Day's getting there.
They're getting there. Because they wanted it at SummerSlam last year.
Yeah.
So probably by Battlegroundish.
I think Fatal 4-Way is a good way to escape with a win without necessarily pinning Gallows or Anderson, maybe that kind of deal.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
And lastly, Breezango, just crushing it.
Yeah.
Back shaving, come on now.
See, it wasn't on the Hulu replay.
Oh God.
They didn't put it on. That's one of my gripes with the Hulu replay is that they don't really show everything. So I had to go back and
Yeah, you got to YouTube it on WWE.
you gotta check it out on Fan Nation.
Tyler Breeze was shaving Fandango's back, and he mentioned that it really makes your muscles pop.
Hilarious.
Makes you more aerogigantic.
That too.
They're they've been great on SmackDown. I mean,
Killing it.
With Goldust and R-Truth existing and then having their foils, these guys, that something comes out from that.
They're in their own little world, and it's amazing. Initially, the whole thing was like it was all about Golden Truth, but I like how Breeze and Fandango were like, nah, we're going to be part of this too. Mm-hmm. And I love watching these four. I mean, they're all great performers, and it's nice to see Breeze and Fandango get all this TV time. Just for a long time, we didn't see them.
And you get a sort of a lower level tag team feud. Something that gives people something to do, which I think is good for everyone. Obviously, I mean, if that's a lot of people's biggest complaint is like, hey, you're not seeing enough of these guys. No one has a lot of stuff to do. There you go.
And back shaving is something we haven't seen in a while.
It's true.
Yeah, and I know it's tough for you and Dale, but Dale being on the East Coast, and you guys.
Oh yeah.
You're getting splotchy back there.
My shirts don't even. It's a hard. I actually have to have them ripped off. I have to have my roommate.
You get the wings on the back on the lats. Yeah, me too.
Yep. With that said, we have a new King of the Mountain champion on Impact Wrestling.
Dummy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dummy. Yeah.
Congratulations to our friend Eli Drake cashing in when Bram was at his weakest. Bram does kick out, but Eli I really like how he got him in the corner and just started the knees and the shoulders right to the gut and then hitting the Book of Eli for the win. New King of the Mountain champ, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm hoping he can explain what that championship really means.
I don't know, but it's a belt.
But he's the King of the Mountain.
Yeah.
I loved his celebration.
And just
he got a bottle of champagne from the back from an assistant, and then it started popping it open. Someone was holding the glasses there, and he started pouring it, and then handing it off to people, slapping it out of their hands,
right in their face. Oh
pouring
yeah,
it on people.
Classic.
And then found an empty studio room and said, "No, he's in here. Well, it's my celebration," and kicked everybody out.
Get out of here, you dummies. And the tribunal debuts, Baron Dax and Basil Baraka, introduced by Al Snow, which many people would recognize from NXT, as Sylvester Lafort and Martin Luis, I believe was his name.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So Al Snow is dedicated to not having buffoons, he says, as wrestlers, and he brought these two guys in. We've loved what Al Snow's done, and these two guys are really good performers, so kudos.
It's a great way to have guys shine in this feud and for Al to endorse.
Yep. So kudos to them on that. EC3 was in charge, put in charge by Dixie for this episode. He makes Mike Bennett clean a whole lot of things. Toilets, restrooms, you name it.
Yeah. at number 4 he had to clean.
He'd clean number 4.
There was a number 1, a number 2, and eventually in those stalls there was a number 4.
Yeah. Number 4 is when there's actually a kidney there too.
Oh, okay. That's what I was wondering.
It's a combination of things. A lot of cleanup.
Yeah, things went way wrong.
Yeah, that's not good.
Way wrong. And of course, we have to mention with the fact that Slammiversary is coming up this week. There is a a lot of good matches actually, but a very big match.
Brother Nero.
There was a director's cut from the Hardys of how Impact went off the air this week.
That was amazing.
That ended in a side effect onto a table.
Not a traditional table, mind you.
No.
Not at all.
A table that's probably been in their compound since they were teenagers.
But a round table with the support directly in the center. Which is not the table you necessarily want to put a wrestler through.
Grandma's table. That's what they did.
Yeah. Mammy's going to be so pissed.
Grandma Nero.
Yeah, Grandma Nero.
Brother Nero.
And then, to follow that up, while in Mexico this weekend, EC3, Eli Drake, Tyrus, and Rockstar Spud filmed a parody of the director's cut.
I didn't know this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
You didn't see the parody?
Well, we didn't even talk about Fake Cell.
What are you talking about?
Max Cell's fake brother.
Oh, also, Fake Cell. Yeah.
Being tossed into the mix.
Rebby Sky threw a fake baby to Jeff as a distraction, as you do.
Yeah.
And the parody was also somehow released on TNA's YouTube page. Which, first off...
You gotta get that ad revenue, buddy.
Round of applause to EC3, Eli, Tyrus, and Rock. It was phenomenally done. EC3 had a piece of toilet paper for his white hair.
Oh my God, I gotta see this.
Everything about it was just... And then at the end, Josh Matthews is watching it, and he goes, I don't know if this is the best thing I've ever seen or the worst thing, and I'm dumber for watching it. And EC3 goes, come on, worst thing? And they all look at the camera. Like, this is the build-up. Like, I don't know what... I'm so confused. I don't know if this is something that Matt and Jeff made together, and they have carte blanche, and TNA cannot say no, or if they were just short on time and needed to have the build-up to Slammiversary. I'm very confused because when you put the parody, as much as I loved it,
yes,
it's kind of knocking the storyline, right?
Now, what? Okay, I don't watch TNA.
Okay,
I don't have cable. What is the storyline going in?
Matt and Jeff developed a rivalry. Jeff did an incredible, crazy swanton from like 90 feet away onto Matt. Took him out, and since then, Matt has come back almost like an Edgar Allan Poe character.
Yeah, they want the feud of Matt wanting Jeff to remove the Hardy name from himself. Him wanting to have the name, and Jeff saying he wanted the name.
So Matt only wants
to
the Hardy
be the
name.
Hardy.
Yeah.
And then from there, yes, so they fight, and then Matt has turned into this darkened character.
Like blown out hair, a white streak going down like a skunk.
Johnny Depp and Sweeney Todd.
Totally.
Very much so. And then he has an accent.
Weird cadence.
Yeah.
Brother Nero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I love. I love the fact that Matt has taken chances. I love the fact that he's doing something totally different that we never would have expected from him.
Yes.
But this segment...
I could talk about this for hours. I love that this exists. Like, other stuff, it's like, yeah, Fatal 4-Way, tag team, like, yeah, cool, neat, whatever. The match will be the story. This is endless fun.
And if you go back and watch the director's cut, while Jeff is riding on his bike, you actually hear the same music that we have for our introduction to the Slamcast. The same guitar riff, the same royalty-free music.
Thanks, GarageBand.
Yeah.
I like that Jeff had just symbols of the Hardy Boys all around his compound that he just rides his dirt bike through.
Yeah.
That's... The whole thing to me looked a lot like a bad improv scene. Like,
yeah, I don't know who shot it. Like, it was shot kind of like
there was 87 people shooting that thing.
Yeah, like Jeff came in, right, and then like he was trying to like establish the scene because it was very serious.
I think it was edited on iMovie for sure.
Oh, easily, because it was very serious.
Nero
Jeff is
movie.
like, this is
Brother Nero.
I never get tired of hearing that. Ever.
Jeff is like, what do you want? And then like, it's like going into like an improv scene and someone's like, hey mom, can you make me that? And they're like, I'm not your mom, I'm a dragon. And you're like, okay, what?
Yeah.
What is happening here? It's like Matt was trying to get this character in at any expense to what seemed like the storyline from an outsider's perspective, at least.
Sure.
Without knowing what was going on, it's mind blowing because I don't know if it's 100% serious still.
Oh.
Well, it's a main event at Slammiversary.
Okay, then
or one of the main events.
I mean, one of the main events, not the title. The title's above that.
Yeah, I guess
Co-main.
so. I mean, and of course, Rebby throwing Fakesel Jeff, that begs the question: where the hell is Maxwell?
Maxwell's one of the cameramen.
Is he on the road? Oh, he's filming it.
Yeah, he's filming it.
Okay.
He's earning his stripes in the wrestling business,
Sure.
Maxwell. I mean, that's the reason to watch TNA Wrestling there, is for Maxwell Hardy.
Okay.
He's already undefeated. He's
the
6-month opponent.
He's a baby?
He's a 6-month-old baby that is the star.
Okay, I should definitely start tuning into TNA.
He actually won a match a week or two ago. Not on TNA, some show. Maxwell pinned someone in the ring.
I'm following him on Twitter. He's great.
Who did he beat?
A no name.
Oh, okay.
But it's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you have to, absolutely.
So yeah, Slammiversary though, I will say this. The card at Slammiversary, really good. You got Galloway and Lashley for the title, knockout or tap out. You have Decay versus Bromance for the tag titles. Eli Drake versus Bram, King of the Mountain. Hardy versus Hardy, Full Metal Mayhem, and for Matt Hardy's sanity, I guess. Mike Bennett versus EC3 grudge match, and then Maria Kanellis versus Gail Kim. That is a hell of a card.
Yeah, because the Metal Mayhem matches are basically TLC, but also with, was it chains?
Steel pipes.
Yeah, wow. Like, it's just got all, it's like open to all.
Concrete. I'm throwing things out.
That ain't metal.
That's not metal? That's right.
Metal.
Okay. Other metal things.
Yeah. Braces.
Number 2 pencils.
There you
Lead.
Go. Yeah.
Now,
you're getting this. He's
now,
not getting this at all.
Knockout or tap out.
That's like MMA rules.
Does Galloway have a submission that he can use? I mean, what is the?
Not really.
Yeah, right? Is he at a severe disadvantage against the overpowering Lashley?
Big time.
I mean, things
as champion. Right?
Kick him
He
in
is
the
champion
face.
Right.
Yeah, but Galloway has not, what I recall. I think when he was fighting Angle, he was trying to do the ankle lock in return, but to no success.
Yeah.
So he'll probably try stuff, but a signature submission.
He doesn't have anything.
No.
Yeah.
And this is their first attempt at a pay-per-view in quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we are really hoping it does well. It's this Sunday, live on pay-per-view. We encourage you to watch it. Like I said, the card is good. The episodes
have
been
for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Encourage you to get some friends together. Like get a bunch of people together and pay for it. Don't throw down $50 on your own. Like get a bunch of friends and pay like $7.
Not even that. If your friend's having a party, go to it. Lock yourself in a room and watch it alone.
That means it's on, y'all.
That was me. I just stood up and
go, Brother Nero, more pepperoni pizza.
Brother Nero.
I want Tostino's pepperoni rolls badly.
And some Shasta.
Please, on the rocks.
Where it all began in the driveway.
May you turn on the air conditioning. It is hot in your basement.
This overcoat is very debilitating to my body to breathe. Yeah. We encourage you to watch it, though. I certainly want to. What am I doing on Sunday? I'm back east. You know what? I think I might be able to watch it.
Are you going to your friend's house?
That's the thing, is I'm going to be back in Pennsylvania. I'll be back home. I don't know how many of my friends watch wrestling. I may have to watch it myself.
Watch it with your ma.
Yeah.
My mom lives in California now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, she's going to be upset that you're leaving.
I know. Hey, Mom,
Skype
we're watching Slammiversary. We're Skyping it. Got $50.
FaceTime. Yeah, FaceTime.
I'm not sure how much it costs, but either way, though, best of luck. I hope it does well, and it is a really, really great card. And also, kudos on the parody of that director's cut. Good Lord.
So excited.
Just so good.
Dummy. Yeah.
Lucha Underground, wow, I don't want to say Brian Cage. Cage versus the Monster Matanza. Good God Almighty. Cage just flipping everywhere. Matanza ends up getting the victory and hanging on to that title, but wow. These two. I mean, it's funny because I knew Cage before he was the Machine.
Oh, so he was like 112 pounds?
He was in great shape.
He was a vegan?
He wasn't vegan, but he was in great shape.
Okay.
But he was very acrobatic in the ring. Well, he didn't lose any of that, and he was able to show it off against Matanza. It was insane.
That dude, I mean, he's amazing. I just don't even understand how the human body's capable of everything that he does.
Well, it's almost like I compare it to basketball when, maybe one of us had a kid growing up we were friends with who was like 5'10" his sophomore year and was a point guard. And then he shot up to 6'5" over the summer. One of my buddies was like that. One of my best friends who I'm actually going to stay with back home in PA. He went from 5'10" to 6'5" over one summer, never lost his ability to be a point guard. So he was a 6'5" forward who could take it from start to finish and was our best player, ended up being, all conference and all this stuff because he never lost the ability to be a point guard even though he got taller. I kind of compare that to Cage. He got massive and became a bodybuilder, but he never lost the athleticism, which is hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that added weight.
He was a WWE prospect at one point, yes?
He was down in FCW, yeah.
I don't know how they let that guy go. I'm baffled by it.
He's a way different. He was there. It's funny because back in the day, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, Eli Drake and Brian Cage were our Heritage Tag Team Champions. They were called Natural Selection. They were managed by Percy Pringle, Paul Bearer.
Yeah.
And they were them and the Rock Nest Monsters were the tag teams we had. They were just insane. Now you have Rock Nest was Johnny Yuma and Kevin Martinson. But yeah, they were a tag team together. Eventually they broke off. And, Cage was in FCW a long time ago. And then, of course, Eli went to NXT for about a year. But, yeah, I mean, such great talent.
Yeah, and he's flourishing there. He's just really killing it.
Sure is. He's even having moments of comedy, which I didn't think his character would have that in him, but he does. So, kudos.
Solid.
Trios rematch, superplex onto everybody, but Puma gets DQ'd by kicking Johnny Mundo in the nether region.
And those are bedazzled down there.
I would imagine they are. Yeah.
Like his abs once were. So, that's painful.
I enjoyed the fact watching Puma get really upset and actually losing control, which he's never done before. So that's pretty cool. And Son of Havoc defeats Daga. But that's pretty much the episode for everyone. Like I said, Cage and Matanza was just insane. I mean, that was a main event for the ages as far as that show goes. It was really good.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Now we got to talk another big event coming up. NXT Takeover happening. If you're listening on Wednesday, it's happening tonight. If you're listening after Wednesday, it already happened. So let's get into it.
Yeah. Remove yourself from that party and watch this show.
Yes. Hell of a show leading up to it. I like how Aries defeated Elias Sampson, but he came out as the kind of, I want to say an old school Austin Aries, came out wearing the cape again, defeated Elias by the last Chancery, which we haven't, that's one of his famous submissions holds we haven't seen yet. So I like the fact that he's like gearing up for Nakamura. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the cape is back.
It's not easy to wear cape.
No.
I think the submission works for him.
Oh, it's a great submission. Are you kidding me? He's going to lock that on Nakamura for sure.
Totally.
So, what else we got? We have a debut. We have Andrade Cien Almas.
Yeah, what's his deal? I haven't heard anything.
I don't know who that
recently
is.
About it.
He's a luchador, young guy. He's what is he? 26, 27, something like that.
So he's auditioning to be the new Sin Cara.
Well, he doesn't have a mask on.
He does have a trampoline though.
Maybe has a trampoline, but he's taking on Ty Dillinger, who seems to take on everyone when they debut. It's just the thing now.
Yeah, gotta get that.
He's the gatekeeper.
Yeah,
he's the perfect 10.
He's the perfect 10. Puts on a perfect match.
Yeah.
So.
It's going to be interesting.
It is. I mean, the fact that he's making his debut, we've only seen a couple vignettes about him, but yeah, he's making his debut on this takeover.
I mean, Regal can make anyone seem important too. I mean, if Ty Dillinger was going after being like, I want a match at takeover, I want a match at takeover, and then Regal came out and was like, here you go. You get to face one of the brand new guys, one of the best in the world.
And he's like, oh man, again?
Yeah, exactly. I wanted someone easy.
He has to face everyone when they first show up. He had to face Apollo Crews. Who else? It's been happened like 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah, it sucks for him, man.
He's the man.
I am the man.
Trust him though.
I'm gonna say Cien. He's gonna win.
Ty Dillinger for the win. Upset victory. Perfect 10. Here it comes.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm going Cien, the guy's name I can't spell.
There you go. Asuka taking on
Cara.
Cien Cara.
It's already there.
Got it. Asuka versus Nia Jax for the women's title. I feel like this number 1 contenders thing was kind of a little bit thrown together, maybe due to Bayley's injury. I'm not quite sure. To me, it's Asuka all day. I like Nia Jax. I just don't think she has it all in the ring yet. I don't know. I have a hard time watching her matches.
But I mean, as the women's division heavy, does she really need to? I mean, she's the giant in a land of typically smaller women. So I mean.
She's starting to sell a little bit better, and I think against Asuka, she's going to have to sell.
Oh, yeah. They're going to beat the crap out of each other.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be great. That'll be nice. First real test for Asuka, I believe. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Besides Bayley, as champion.
She had a title match since TakeOver Dallas.
I don't believe so.
I think maybe Carmella.
But was Carmella really ever a
I'm just saying, the title was on the line.
But yeah, like a fierce competitor.
Yeah, you got to get that big win under your belt, I think.
For sure, and this is going to be fun to watch. I mean, look, Asuka's just incredible, and like I said, Nia Jax, she's definitely improving.
I like her a lot. I really do.
Yeah, and they're gonna That's going to be one of the more physical matches, I think, in the entire show. Mm-hmm. So, we're all going Asuka.
Yeah.
Yep.
American Alpha versus Revival. We spoke about this earlier with Scotty Too Hotty. This match, anytime you get these two teams together, they have a capability of stealing the show. And Takeover Dallas, I don't know how they're going to top that.
That's going to be really tough. I mean, but I'm sure the pressure's on for them, so they'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Should be co-main, man. This is they really revitalized the tag team vision through NXT, I think.
Yeah?
They've been doing a lot of great stuff. I love the Revival. Oh my God, I love the Revival. Just old Southern, like straight up Arn Anderson type stuff. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yep. I'm on board.
I like the catchphrase, no flips, just fists. Come on now. Come on now.
Coming out in the old like boxing jackets.
Yep.
Oh, just give me a Ribera steak on the back of it.
Are they going bowling or beating people up? Who knows?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Oh, love that kind of stuff. Just old school, like Brainbusters, Tully and Arn kind of stuff.
That's a good comparison.
Oh my God, all day, all
Very much
day.
So.
Give me them.
Well, I'm still saying the American Alpha.
I'll go Revival.
Ooh,
taking them back the titles.
No, they're too tough. I don't want to get beat up.
Okay, true. Fair enough. This is a match I'm obviously most excited for. As much as Joe and Balor is going to be great, the whole card's fun. But to watch Nakamura and Aries, Aries was on the show last week. They've crossed paths. They've never been in the ring together.
Oh,
yeah. This is the first time they're ever facing each other. You have two very, very different styles, but two absolute professionals who have had long, amazing careers all over the world, and they finally appeared the same time together on NXT. And I like how Aries' character is starting to get really annoyed by Nakamura taking the spotlight.
Yeah. They're I love the current thing of just all these amazing dream matchups.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you got Aries coming in, you have Joe and Balor and Nakamura now coming up, and like especially with the brand split coming up, you're going to need to fill out those rosters. Mm-hmm. And all these guys, you're going to start seeing that. It's like AJ Styles, John Cena again. It's like you get these franchise players that are coming in, guys that carried companies outside of WWE, and now it's just like it's like I'm playing a video game. You know
I just really hope Aries and Nakamura get a lot of time. I mean, this is it's a 5-match pay-per-view, so I would like to think they're going to get a lot of time because they really deserve it.
Definitely. To
tell the kind of story that they can. Of course, I'm saying Aries.
Nakamura.
Knock all day.
All right. I figured it.
He's so weird. I love weird.
I know.
He's so weird.
He's going to weird out Aries. It's going to be fun to watch.
He's electric. You know what I mean? Like, he comes out and it's just like it's a different vibe, like when you see him. Mm-hmm. That his Takeover Dallas debut was just ridiculous. I mean, there was all the hype coming in, but even then it was just like that.
Well, that's what's cool. Both their entrances are very grandiose.
Totally.
So it's got it's a big fight with these two facing each other. Granted, there hasn't been a lot of build-up, but I don't think with these two there doesn't have to be. It's two guys that think they're the greatest, two guys that have egos, and two guys that are going to be really pissed off if they lose.
And it's to an audience that is familiar with them, even the lore of them. Mm-hmm. So that's enough going in.
No doubt. And Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor for the NXT title. This event is called The End, meaning this is going to be the final chapter of Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe. To me, I love what they've done, but Samoa Joe is just the man right now.
It's a cage match, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. Is it? It might be.
Could have sworn I saw that somewhere. Might be a cage match. Someone verify that.
Right now.
Someone right now
Shane
verify.
or Stephanie or William Regal or...
I will check.
We got Scotty Too Hotty on the line. Scotty, can you verify that for us?
I will check right now, so go ahead.
Joe's just so awesome, but we've talked about this from time to time, and I know they're doing the brand split. I see Balor as being an NXT guy for a long time, as being the face of that company, and that being a really great spot for him. But I'm sure, like most guys, would want to move up. But if he doesn't, if he loves that position, I could see him winning it back and being the guy there. But I want to root for Joe all day, so I'm going to root for Joe.
Mm-hmm. It is a steel cage match, Chris.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, I know it.
So there you go.
First steel cage match in NXT history.
I think it is.
Oh, I hope they go the big blue one.
Oh, God.
The big blue one will be sweet.
Give me a hell yeah.
Not this cane, the mesh.
No
more mesh.
Giant squares.
I want that paint being... I want the paint that's just not good for you.
No.
On there. Yeah. Breathing the fumes.
Hell yeah.
Those cages are the best.
So are we... I'm saying Joe.
I'm going blue cage.
You're going blue cage wins. Yeah, because blue cage is the big winner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go Joe too. I think Balor's gonna get the call up pretty soon.
That's going to be exciting.
I think this is the end of Finn Balor in NXT. So it
could be
that call up's gonna come
coming
soon.
up.
But yeah, SummerSlam's coming up. I mean, if you run Cena AJ for a little while up until SummerSlam and then have that big debut with Balor, man, getting off to a hot start there.
It's going to be something. With that said, what a hell of a show. Thank you very much to Scotty 2 Hotty. Once again, find him at the Scotty 2 Hotty or ScottyBookings@AOL.com if you want to book him for a show. Just an incredible dude. We are at Facebook.com/WrestlingBuds. Also at WrestlingBuds on Twitter. Like I said, thank you so much for being so supportive and so active on social media. Continue to do so because we definitely want to keep building as we move on to our first show at Fox Sports on June 29th. Let's see. Go to the iTunes page. Hit us up there. At Dale Rutledge. No, he's not at Dale Rutledge. Dale Rutledge. Find him on Twitter at TheWalkingDale. Find Carlin Baith at Carlin Baith. And Scotty Narver, go for it.
You can find me on Twitter at Curtain Jerks. You can listen to my comedy wrestling podcast, Curtain Jerks, available on iTunes and SoundCloud. And also YouTube.com/OnYourMarkShow. Marky Extreme is back. And this week at WrestleCon, he was talking with... it was Victoria and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And then this week was... Joey Ryan. The Badass Buddies. Might not be anymore. The greatest tag team that never wrestled.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's something, all right.
Yeah. So Joey's wiener might have gotten in the way of things.
Well, it tends to do that.
Just saying, that's a powerful wiener.
Chris Lev.
What kind of cheese?
You can find me on Twitter at LevChrisLev, LevChrisLev. Listen to my comedy wrestling podcast, sort of wrestling related podcast called The Schmoz Fest.
It's fun.
SCHMOZZFEST. It's fully improvised. It's a lot of fun. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us. It's just me. Follow me on Twitter at Schmozfest. SCHMOZZFEST. And that's it. Yeah. Thank you guys.
There you go. Yeah, it's been fun to have you on, and
appreciate it.
Thanks for bringing that thunder.
Congratulations on the Fox Sports thing.
Thanks, buddy. Some good stuff coming up. I leave to the East Coast tomorrow night, so I won't be in studio next week. I want to do a phone call. Maybe we'll work it out, Scotty. Why you got to roll your eyes at me?
Because what am I, a technical guy? Am I gonna have a soundboard? Am I gonna have all these things? Come on.
No, I'm taking my soundboard with me.
I'm trying to get Maxell Hardy as a guest on the show.
You were always home eating a ribeye.
Yeah, but next week I'll be running this thing. So
okay, well I can't wait.
With ribeye stuck in my teeth.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Straight from Ribeiro Steaks.
Jesus, I'm at Jay Quasto, but East Coast, it's a lot of stuff going on this Friday. 3 spots in New York City. New York Comedy Club, the 1-in-1 Bar, and then the Standing Room in Long Island City. Let's see where else. Wednesday, June 15th, big show back home in Pennsylvania.
Big show?
Not the big show.
He's going to be there. He's his feature.
The big show. Arts Quest in Bethlehem, huge show. I'm headlining back home. If you're anywhere near there, please hit me up on social media. It's at Steel Stacks, Wednesday, June 15th, 8 p.m. And then Pittsburgh, Friday, June 17th.
Hell of a town.
Your hometown. I'm going to be at the Comedy Arcade. I'm co-headlining the 8 p.m. show and then also doing a 10 p.m. show. I'm waiting on a ticket link for that. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll be on the East Coast for about 10 days. A lot of good stuff coming up. At JLo Comedy. At Jay Quasto, JLoComedy.com. My brain is all over the...
Glow Quasto.
I've been trying to book flights.
Hashtag Glow Quasto.
Hashtag Glow Quasto.
Oh, yeah.
Tag Netflix.
Yeah, get me on Glow. Hashtag Glow Quasto. Let me be the interviewer that gets all clown and all that good stuff. With that said, guys, we love you so much. Thank you once again to Scotty 2 Hotty. Keep chasing your dreams. We'll see you next week.
That was interesting.